We're heading to Mount Kosciuszko to catch up with Steve Plain. Now, you may remember Steve from our Rotary show a little while back. He was midway through a record-breaking challenge to climb the 7 highest peaks in 4 months. Now, this is on the back of a broken neck and a very questionable future a few years back. So Steve's story is well worth listening to if you haven't listened to it before. But Steve, as I'm learning in true Steve style, decided to throw in an extra peak of Mount Kosciuszko where he supported kids in wheelchairs experience something they may not otherwise have had a chance to do. Welcome, Steve.
Hello, Lucy. How are you?
I'm very well.
So we had the Kosciuszko Summit Wheelchair Challenge yesterday with Rotary, which was an amazing day. And this morning, nice, relaxing morning back down in Jindabyne.
Oh, beautiful. And it was a combined effort between the Rotary clubs of Turramurra and Cooma that got this project off the ground with you, isn't it?
That's right, yes. And it was all done with pretty short lead time as well. So there was a massive effort from both the Turramurra Rotary Club and Cooma Rotary Club to organise such an amazing weekend, an amazing event in pretty short time.
How many children actually went up with you?
We had yesterday. There was 6 wheelchair participants and about 100 people in total, with other volunteers helping and assisting to push and pull the kids in wheelchairs up, and other people just coming along for the walk as well. So it was really incredible to have everyone all got up to the top of Kosciuszko yesterday at about 11:30 a.m. So it's pretty incredible to have everyone up there, and it was an amazing day.
I bet there were some amazing pictures and some great comments from people about how they felt getting that opportunity.
Absolutely, yes. And we had at the end of that last night, had a function back in Jindabyne here, and we're all able to share stories and hear how everyone enjoyed the day. And it was really nice to just hear from the kids themselves, the kids in wheelchairs, how much it meant to them to be able to get out and see the snowy mountains and enjoy the outdoors like that, and something which is otherwise a little bit difficult for them ordinarily.
Does this touch home for you in the sense that a couple of years back when you broke your neck, they didn't really think that you would be walking again, and yet you are, and it's through your perseverance and some you're giving your body time to rest and recuperate that you're able to do what you're doing. So how is it when you can give back in this way?
I think, yeah, for me, and I was very, very lucky. And for the early days there, it was quite questionable. And I think having actually been in that position of lying in a hospital bed and potentially facing a very uncertain future at that stage, it does make you think. And so I definitely sort of have a much greater appreciation for what for the people that are in the wheelchairs these days. And the work we're trying to do yesterday was trying to raise awareness for and funds for Spinal Cure, who are a Sydney-based organisation doing some amazing work to try and find a cure for paralysis, and through that trying to actually get people out of wheelchairs and walking again. So if that can come through and we can help towards that, that'd be absolutely incredible.
We're actually going to have a conversation with the people from Spinal Cure in a couple of weeks' time, because I'm very interested in how they're working it, and it would change so many people's lives to be able to work on what that cure would look like.
Oh, it would be, absolutely. We actually had Spinal Cure down here yesterday, and I listened to them speak last night, and for them, and one comment they actually made was one girl who is a quadriplegic said even if the research they're doing could get her to a point where she can get function in her arms, just simply be able to make a cup of tea would mean the world to her. Mm. So it's the smallest little things like that which can make such a big difference to the quality of life of these people.
Yeah, we take so much for granted when when we have all of our arms and legs and they respond to what we ask them to do immediately. We underestimate the gift that we're given, actually, or we don't maybe nurture it quite as openly as we should.
Absolutely, yeah. With the work we're doing with Spinal Cure and Surf Life Saving, probably it's the mountaineering aspect of what I'm doing with my project is probably different to them. So I think it's a different aspect and something which they wouldn't ordinarily get to see. So it's a privilege to be able to also share my journey with them, and it is incredible the support and well wish I'm getting from people who are actually following along and joining in on the journey.
And of course, it's all about fundraising. So I have put a link, or I will put a link to your website and the fundraising page on our website at the end. How is your speed record going?
So far, touch wood, it's going incredibly well. So I started on January 7th, is when I left Sydney and flew straight across to South America and straight down to Antarctica. So the first climb was in Antarctica, in Mount Vincent. And I guess just for listeners who maybe not heard the previous recording we did, what I'm trying to achieve is the 7 summits in under 4 months, and the 7 summits being the highest mountain on each of the 7 continents. So from Antarctica, I went straight to South America and climbed Aconcagua. From there, we went straight to Africa and climbed Kilimanjaro. Last week, we were crossing West Papua in Indonesia and climbed Carstan's Pyramid, the highest in Australasia. And now just back down and done Kosciuszko in Australia.
Extraordinary.
So that's a bit over halfway now.
Wow. So what's left?
We've got this Wednesday, so in a couple of days' time, fly out for Russia, where we'll climb Elbrus, the highest in Europe. From there, we'll head straight across to Alaska to climb Denali, the highest in North America. And then in mid-April, if that all goes well, we'll be heading back down to Nepal to attempt Everest.
Wow. Have there been any unforeseen challenges, Steve?
So far, thankfully, there hasn't been too much. There's always challenges along the way, and I think one of the biggest, when people hear about what I'm doing, automatically think about the challenges that climb. Some of the biggest challenges actually being also logistical, and just the amount of travel and travel, jet lag, times in and out of airports and things is also very, very demanding. So trying to actually look after yourself and recover and recuperate between climbs when you're doing long international flights as well has been quite difficult.
Yeah, and we're right in the middle of international, or Hornsby Ku-ring-gai International Women's Day Festival, and our hashtag is Love Me First. So what you're sharing here is that, you have to actually prioritise nurturing and self-nurturing in order to do what you're doing, and that, that's you can't do what you're doing without, as you say, looking after yourself when you've got jet lag, finding the right accommodation, actually making sure you sleep and you eat well.
That's right, yeah. We've got very little time between each climb before we're backing up and travelling and going straight to the next one. So trying to actually make sure we are recovering. There's a lot of little things you can do to try and just help improve and keep on top of your health and fitness while travelling. So trying to manage all that while we're going is it's difficult, but so far it's been going incredibly well.
Now, I did hear from your blog that you had I don't know how to say this, you were a little bit impatient. You were ahead of time. You wondered what to do. So you decided to go off and climb yet another mountain, Steve.
Yeah, we're in South America, and we got up Aconcagua quicker than anticipated and had some spare time, so we thought we'd try Aconcagua being the highest. In South America, we thought we'd try the second highest as well, which is across in Chile. So we flew across there, and that's normally about a 10 to 12-day expedition, and we were trying to do it in about 2 days we had spare. And it should have been okay, but it's in the middle of the Atacama Desert and rises up to almost 7,000 metres, and as we were going in, the weather forecast were predicting 2 to 3 feet of snow, which we thought, we questioned whether the weather forecasts were right, and we thought we'd try our luck regardless and head up. But the weather forecast was right, so we got dumped with a lot of snow and ended up having quite a journey trying to get back out, with getting cars bogged and stuck in four-wheel drive tracks, which we couldn't find a track, and all sorts of things. So
goodness.
That was good fun, but yeah, thankfully it was on an unplanned. It was just on a side trip, but not crucial to the main project.
Although the flight you were about to miss as a result of getting bogged in was a bit serious.
It was, yes. So we were very, very close to missing our flight across to Africa. So that would have been detrimental to the project. But thankfully, it all came through okay.
It does make me laugh, and I am ever so slightly concerned that you'll find life without a mountain very dull. So I do think that as a career you should consider life beyond this as something to do with mountains, because to deny it clearly is just not going to work for you.
No, I think that's something I haven't sort of thought about too much. But I know having been a long build up to this project, it's been many years of training and expeditions trying to build up to this project, and having this as a main goal, I know it will be a bit of a challenge at the end of it, actually just coming back home and getting back to ordinary life again.
Yeah. Now, look, how can we follow? Let's have some plugs on, some of the charities that you're raising money for, how people can follow your blog, and we'll hopefully do a little bit of plug for you coming into the studio when you're back.
That'd be fantastic. So the charities are raising awareness and funds for is Surf Lifesaving Western Australia. So it's actually volunteer surf lifesavers who pulled me out of the water the morning of my accident, and Spinal Cure Australia. So you can follow through my website, which is project7in4.com. That's the number 7 and number 4. And on that website there's live tracking. So I've got a GPS satellite device with me which plots my position in real time so people can follow along as I actually progress on all the climbs. And there's also a link there to the donation portal. So
we can be armchair explorers.
You can indeed. It's actually it's been interesting down here this weekend, and the number of supporters who say every morning the first thing they do is wake up and jump on my website to see where I got to overnight, and following me throughout the day. So that's been amazing to know that people can actually join in and are interested in following as I'm actually going along. That is very cool. I thought they only did that about Santa Claus. You're right up there, Steve. Yeah, not sure about Santa Claus, but... No, it's fantastic. I'm very pleased you're well, very pleased you're healthy and looking after yourself. Thank you very much for supporting the Rotary Club of Turramurra and Cooma, and for taking those young people up in their wheelchairs, and to all the unseen and unspoken about volunteers. You said there were about 100 of them who actually pushed and pulled to ensure that we could make their dreams come true. Yeah, that's right. So a quick plug for that also is behind, in addition to Rotary, behind them the SES Volunteer State Emergency Service got involved, and the Rural Fire Service got involved as well. So all the support from all those people to make yesterday a complete success was absolutely amazing. Well, big shout out to all of them, because, as we say, without you, there are always people who do lead organisation roles, and it's very important. We appreciate them. But the hard and graft stuff, yeah, always unsung heroes. So big thanks out to them. Well done. Absolutely. Thanks, Steve. Thank you very much, Lisa. It's been a pleasure, and hopefully we can come into the studio when we're back in May. There is no way you're going to get away with not, because somehow we're going to have to make this an all-seeing, we're going to have to try and create a visual out of an audio recording. So I don't know how. Maybe we'll have to do some Facebook Live just to try and do something with that. I'm sure we can manage that. All right. Take care, Steve. Safe travels. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. And you. Bye. Bye. So there we go. Oh, what an opportunity to catch up with Steve live. Every other time we've had to do it on devices like, through word of mouth or through Facebook or interviews, pre-recorded interviews. But lovely to hear about something the next day. I think we got in with a first there. Triple H with a breaking story. The amazing Steve Plain working with the RFS, the SES, the 2 Rotary clubs, and just the number of people that helped get 6 young people in wheelchairs to feel the wind on their face at the top of a mountain. Amazing. You're listening to Triple H 100.1 FM, and stay in the loop with Lucy.